Amish, and then, so they live scattered among the other people. They don't live in a village. The farm on the left is Amish, and if you look at the center of the property there's a really big house on the left. The left part is white and the right part is light gray. This is how they take care of the grandparents. They would live, somebody my age, we'd be living next door to one of our children and their children. And then when you get ill or elderly, the family's right there to take care of you. Look at their garden. They are religiously exempt from paying Social Security tax, but of course if you don't pay, you don't collect. So they don't get money from the government when they get older, but they of course are expecting that, so they'll be saving for that, and also the family will be there. There's also no group homes for the Amish, there's a lady out working on the right, a young girl out weed eating. There's no group homes where all the Amish elderly live together either. There are Mennonite ones, but not Amish. So they would take care of their family. About 1/3 of our Amish farm, and this is a dairy farm on the left, and we'll probably be going to a dairy farm later on, our second stop. This is a new house. And there's a bench wagon, that gray wagon, in case we don't see another one of those. That's what they fold the benches and put in and take from house to have church at their house. And I'll be telling you about church later on. Here's another Amish school on the left. You see the outdoor bathroom is real easy to see here. In their homes, they have indoor plumbing, but usually the schools don't. They have swings. Notice they still have seesaws, and they have a sand pile. So they're going to be playing outdoors. They don't have a gym. They bring their lunch and take a lap. So they're one-room schools, grades 1 to 8, and they're taught usually by a young Amish woman. Usually then when they're married, they would be home with the family. And it's an honor to be a school teacher. You need to be asked. You don't decide to be an Amish school teacher. So, you might have noticed there's a fence around there, and oftentimes they pasture it instead of mow it. So before it was popular to go green, the Amish have been doing that. Up here on the left, you'll see a windmill. They use wind power, some places water wheels, diesel engines and gasoline engines and compressed air, and a lot of solar now. A lot of solar is used to recharge batteries. And you'll see a lot of solar panels. Here again on the left, you can see how the grandparents live nearby there. Also, there's the propane tank. So they use a lot of propane. Those white tanks will have gas refrigerators, hot water heaters, stoves, lights, all run alternatively. So it's pretty amazing. They've found ways to do it. On the right, there's an Amish tractor there in the barn. They have steel wheels. Oh, and there's another bench wagon too, right by that barn there on the right, the gray wagon. Some days I can't find any to show people, and other days we see a number of them, so it's hard to tell. These tours, you don't know exactly what's going to be there every day, but that makes it exciting, right? Yeah, this one has some vegetables over there on the left. I'm not sure, squash or pumpkin, some kind of a vine one. But I'm sure now you can start to pick them out when you see the Amish clothes on the line, like over there on the left. These are both Amish farms. So back to the history, Mennonites are named after Menno Simons, and the date is 1536. And then in 1693, the Amish broke away before they ever came to this country. They're named after Jacob Ammon. They broke away because he felt that if you made this decision yourself to be baptized, your parents did not make the decision. Jacob thought that if you made it and then you changed your mind and left the church, or if you broke the rules, you should be shunned. And you may have read books, you may have heard of the shunning. Shunning means you don't eat at the same table or do business with the person till they repent. And then they would be forgiven and taken back in. The idea is supposed to be that you want to come back. It's to be redemptive, but it's a little bit strict. And the Amish still do shun. Here's Amish on the left again. They built the barn, they redid the house totally, but the funny thing is they still have the It's still there. The TV dish is still there. I keep watching to see if they take it away. So because back in the time in Germany and Switzerland, the Reformation time, church and state were wrapped up together. These people were not getting their babies baptized, so they were persecuted. They were breaking the law, and many people died, and then they came to this country to escape the persecution. So Mennonites came here to this area around 1710. They came a little bit earlier into Philadelphia area, and then the Amish came a few years later. So they were farmers. They were looking for good land, and they found it. This is some of the best, mostly non-irrigated land in the United States. Some people say in the world, but I'm always a little wondering about saying that. So anyways, in the United States. And it's very expensive. Even where I grew up, about half hour's drive from here, the soil isn't this good and the rains don't come this good, but still the land is selling even in that area from $15,000 to $25,000 an acre. So to have a farm, you're going to need, I mean, even a small, like an Amish farm, yeah, $25,000 an acre. That's a lot of money. And right now the dairy farmers are sort of in trouble because, and take a left, for straight left. The prices of milk are so low right now. So for a farmer that's established and might have his farm paid for, it's one thing, but to start out farming is just a little overwhelming right now for a young person to start. Because you're going to need, I mean, 60 acres is considered, you know, sort of a small farm. And you're going to need cows, 40, 50 cows. One cow, one regular cow, not purebred or anything, is $1,000. So, yeah, it costs a lot of money to get into farming. Most along here are non-Amish, but here where they have the vegetables in the front yard, that's an Amish house. So they bought what they call an English house. In their minds, there's two kinds of people in the world. If you aren't Amish, you are English. So we are all English to the Amish. So they would consider these English. So this is sort of an interesting road. These are the last English houses, or non-Amish, on the right. And now from here on, everyone's Amish, left and right. The green tank in here on the right, and the next farm has a silver one, are railroad cars sitting upright. And they're used to store water. So they would pump the water from the well into that tank, and then they would have a volume of water and water pressure. Because it takes a lot, you know, they're going to have 40, 50, 80 animals and maybe 2 families. It takes a lot of water. And wells aren't endless. Look at this lady's over here on the right. Look at her garden. She puts vegetables and flowers together. That's her little garden. And this is her, there she is on the right. That's the lady, and she cultivates that, pushing the cultivator by hand. She doesn't have a garden tractor. I mean, they're allowed. I mean, but yeah, I'll tell you, that lady is a hard-working lady. The next place down here on the left is a fabric store. And as I told you, they have lots of polyester. Also have some other things in there, sort of a dry goods kind of store.
Do you think?
And under the tree up here is an Amish telephone, the little booth. They have phones, but they're out someplace over here on the left under the tree. And there you can see the Amishmen out